Welcome back to episode 1 of Colts Talk, the podcast dedicated to the Barrie and Collingwood Colts. I am pleased to be joined via phone by Michael Raskin, who is the manager of social media and media relations for the Barrie Colts of the Ontario Hockey League. How are you today, Michael?
I'm good, Sam. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, and we'll jump right into things. This is your first season with the Colts as the manager of social media and media relations. For the fans who are listening, can you just give a little bit of a rundown on what you will be doing as a media relations man for the Colts this season?
Yeah, so, a lot of it kind of stems with producing our own content now. I know, local media doesn't have as much funding as it used to and can't all cover sports. So I'm here to kind of create some content and send out to them and really have the Colts promoted within the community, both through our own social media and through the outlets available to us. And then from the media relations side, really just we want to, run this team professionally. And that comes from how we treat the media and all the fans coming in. So, some upgrade to the media room and the press box and stuff like that is kind of what I'm working on right now on that end. And yeah, we'll see where the season goes and kind of just keep taking everything media-wise to the next level.
Absolutely, and some of the things that are happening around the arena this year that you talked about on a podcast that we'll get into it in a little bit. Some graphics and stuff that are going up around the arena. Maybe just touch on what has been added to Colt Center on the walls that a lot of fans have seen so far now, with a lot of ex-players being added with some graphics on the walls.
Yeah, it looks great right now. And if you haven't been down to see it, I encourage everyone to come check it out. But we have graphics of the more well-known former players of the team kind of just plastered all over the arena. We have Dale Howardchuck on there as well. We have the history of the team championships going back to when they were Sutherland Cup champions. And, the white walls aren't so white anymore. It's very well done. And we're really happy with the way it looks. And the concourse is really, really looking good. And even got some down towards the players' entrance down underneath that the fans can't see, but stuff like all the Colts that have played NHL games and all the Colts that have ever been drafted, and lots of cool stuff for the players to see that the fans don't get, but it really makes the arena feel more like home, and we're really excited about all the changes.
Absolutely, and getting into some players here, some of the new guys that will be on the team, Brant Clark, Trey Zagrobeski, just to name a few. Just talk a little bit about what those guys will be bringing to the team and what you've seen from some of the rookies so far in preseason.
Absolutely. Brant Clark, I could go on about him forever. Just an amazing guy in the room before I even talk about him on the ice. But, he's very well respected already coming into the league as a young guy. He led the entire league in preseason points with 10. And he's a defenseman, which is sometimes hard to remember just because of how offensively sound he is. But he's really responsible defensively, too. He's a great player, and he's obviously going to bring a lot of offense and I think excitement to the Colts, and the fans can really you're going to get used to hearing his name, that's for sure. As for the other guys, we have some really, really good new signings that I'm excited about. Trey, like you mentioned, he's a really good player that we drafted in the 6th round, and wasn't too sure if he'd crack the roster, but he's had a good preseason and he's done really well for us. So another guy we're excited about. Guys like Jacob Braska too. He's a big body, and in his first year here, we're really excited. He's been doing well in the preseason, shown a lot in practice. I don't want to miss anyone, but we just signed the Russian Vladislav Dvorachensky. Huge frame on him, 6'4", 6'5", 210 pounds. Those are guys that you like to have up on forward. Some other rookies we have, I think, Ryan Del Monte, can't forget about him. He's really come to his own this preseason. Looks a lot more confident with the puck now. He was a little timid, I'd say, in the first couple games, but after scoring his first, I think the confidence is coming. Some other guys, we got a great goalie coming in, Artur Silovs. He's a Vancouver Canucks pick. He's signed by them, and he just got into Barrie last night after having a really good Canucks camp. He's from Latvia. So, some competition for Jet Greaves there, which will be good. Push them both to get to the next level. And yeah, so it's a really exciting time for Colts fans. I think we have a really good young team, but with a little more experience than last year, so it should be good.
Absolutely, and sticking with players here a little bit, some cuts have been made by the team. Jake Partridge and Peter Fleming were released by the team. It looks like the roster is all but set with a few moves to be made here and there. Just touch on what the funner roster is starting to look like right now, and some of the players on forward and defense that Colts fans can look forward to seeing out there this year.
Yeah, like you said, the roster is just about good to go. There's always going to be some moves here and there, but we're looking to push for something this season. We want to be a playoff team. We want to go deep. So it's looking good. And some players like you said, obviously, Jacob Tortora, an overager this year. We're really looking for him to score and just produce offense. He's obviously a very highly skilled player. Guys like Matej Pekar, who we just got back from Buffalo camp, had an amazing camp there. He was a point a game last year in the OHL before he got injured. So he's a guy that fans should be excited about. And Ryan Suzuki, he's suiting up for the Carolina Hurricanes tonight in the NHL preseason. So, just gaining the experience like that is just great. And we're so excited to have him back. And he should be back for the home opener, for the season opener, actually, on Friday night. So a lot of excitement up front, a lot of very highly skilled offensive guys, and it's going to be a really good year as a fan of the Barrie Colts.
Absolutely, and to the staff side, unfortunately, Dale Howard-Truck, due to some health reasons, had to step away, but interim head coach Warren Reichel has come in, and he's looked good so far. What have you seen so far from Reichel, and what are your thoughts on him stepping in that role?
Obviously it's sad about Dale, and no one wants to hear that, but Warren's done a great job so far, and he's really excited about this, and you can tell, and he's obviously his record speaks for himself. He's been a winner everywhere he's been, both as a player and as a manager. So, that kind of experience you can't teach. So obviously our guys are really excited to learn from someone who's, won a Stanley Cup, won 3 Memorial Cups. We have great assistant coaches, obviously, that are really helping Warren with the transition. But he's been great, and obviously winning 2 or 3 behind the bench in the preseason there for him is good, and he's kind of really starting to get settled in and familiar with the organization. So it's exciting for the team, and it's exciting for Warren. Just great opportunity.
Absolutely, and season starting up on Friday night, and then the home opener going Saturday. How excited are you to finally get things going here in the OHL and just get the regular season going after, I'm sure, a long wait throughout the summer and preseason to finally get things going?
Yeah, I've been so eager to get going, and starting with training camp and the preseason, things have been really busy, and I'm excited for things to kind of get settled in and get going with the flow of things. But I'm more excited for what the fans of the Colts get to see this year on the ice. It's just a really special group of guys and a great team. So I think we're gonna make some noise this year for sure. And yeah, like you said, I'm just beyond excited to get going this weekend. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And before joining the Colts, you were at Brock University, where Marty Williamson, who is back with the Colts, is now. Just touch on what Marty brings to the team and what fans can expect to see from Marty this season.
Yeah, Marty's been around the game for so long, both as a coach and a manager and a player. So just his knowledge of the game, like there's not many people that I know at least that are as smart about hockey as he is. He's been through it all and just knows everyone in the league. Since leaving the Ice Dogs and joining Brock University as a coach there, he's followed the league very closely, and he knows everything that's going on. He's a guy that the Colts will lean on for trades, for the draft, all that type of stuff, and everyone has full faith in Marty's mind, and what he's going to bring to the hockey operations side is just great. And obviously, I'm really excited to have him as a part of the team.
Absolutely. And a couple of the rookies just want to touch on here. Brent Clark, as you mentioned before, he's just an amazing person on and off the ice. What can Colts fans really expect from him this season on the back end for the Colts?
Yeah, I mean, he's a two-way guy. Really plays a 200-foot game. He can make that pass. He's a very good puck-moving defenseman, but he's a fantastic skater. I've already heard the comparison to Aaron Ekblad. So some high praise for such a young guy, but he loves to jump in on a rush. He loves to make plays, and he's just an all-around exciting guy to watch. And everyone should be keeping an eye on 55 because I expect some big things from him now and in the future. But it's just the type of guy he is off the ice as well. He's very well liked in the room. He's quiet, but likes to speak out. And I think that just the way he carries himself like a true professional is really going to help him get to that next level.
Absolutely. And a couple other guys I want to touch on here, Tyler Tucker and Jack York, they're both coming back from NHL camps this year. What can fans expect from those guys on the back end this year?
Yeah, Jack York, for me, I was a little surprised he didn't get drafted. Obviously, there's a lot of great defensemen out there, but, York is such a great skater. He's fast. He makes great decisions. He thinks the game's smart. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets taken maybe this year down the road, but hopefully he signs with someone and gets to prove everyone who passed up on him wrong. York, obviously, great playmaker, great on the power play. He's a guy we're really going to lean on, but he's still got a couple years left in this league. So for him to be so young and so talented is great. And obviously Tyler Tucker, a 7th-round pick of St. Louis, but just got back from their camp. He went on past the prospects tournament, past main camp, almost got into some preseason games. So it's exciting to have Tucker back. Great guy, brings a lot of physicality and a lot of offense, which he didn't used to be known for, but it's really become a part of his game, with him being almost a point a game last year.
Absolutely. And finally here, before we wrap up, where can fans find your work on the media outlets, and where can they find you personally on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook for those who want to find all things that you do for the Colts?
Yeah, I'd encourage all the fans to check out our YouTube. We have a lot of great content coming up. Just search Barrie Colts on YouTube. You should find it. There's some really funny videos out there now, and I'm working on some really good content to come out there that you can really get to know the players personally instead of just what they are on the ice. Obviously, following on all our social channels like Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook is key. A lot of good stuff coming out there, and Twitter especially just for everything you need, whether it's live game updates, sponsors, or anything. For me, I guess I'm not too out there on social media, but my Instagram is at Raskin_Michael, I think. So yeah, I mean, if you want to follow me, go ahead. But I encourage everyone to follow the Colts account on all social media, and especially that YouTube.
Absolutely. Well, I would like to thank Michael Raskin for joining us today, and I'm sure we'll be talking to him shortly throughout the season. Thanks, Michael.
Yeah, thanks for having me.